Warning. Hashtag DDP Live is for an adult audience. Hashtag DDP Live may contain material that may be unsuitable for sensitive ears. If you are easily offended, run to your panic room now. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Thank you. Please come again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Welcome to the hashtag DDP Live here in the Longbox.FM studios, brought to you, of course, by Riley's Brewing. Of course, tonight I'm going to be doing it up, something new for you guys. You haven't seen me around really doing much since the end of the year. We killed the show, coming back with a fresh look. And as you can see tonight, it's going to be me hanging out with me, talking to you guys. Now, I got a lot on my plate. You saw it in the intro there. But first, I want to talk about something fun, something, parenting moment. And any first-time parents, you get these moments where every so often something happens like, oh, crap, I'm a parent now. I'll say my very first one happened this weekend. My son is now in T-ball, 6 years old, first grade, cute kid. But the whole process of the stuff, you got to go through the practices going on during the week, and then you finally got game day going on. Now, his game's at 11:30 on Saturday, right? So you'd think we show up at 11:15, something like that will be cool. Nope. 8 a.m. Saturday morning, we need to be there for opening ceremonies. Now, we're talking about sixth graders here, not the most athletically inclined kids. As a matter of fact, I think I saw the third baseman making fart dust, sitting on his butt, making little sandcastles and stuff while the game was going on. I mean, the participation awards may be the best way to describe the entirety of what this T-ball thing is. Everyone gets the bat. Everybody gets a score. I digress. Anyways, 8 o'clock, man, on a Saturday. Come on, dude. Come on. It's still cool enough. It's not like we're escaping the heat. But yes, parenting 101. I got my first one, and I got till the end of April to do this. Either way, it was fun. I have it up on my Facebook page. My son's first attempt. He actually got a grand slam foul tip. Think about that one. Anyways, tonight's show, what we got going on, we're going to be talking about a lot of things going on in the Valley. A lot of things have been attracting my attention on the Facebook, otherwise the thing that I like to call Central Valley's housewives. Desperate housewives of the Central Valley? I don't know. It's always full of drama, and when you're really bored, it's easy to get sucked away, click, 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 scrolling through the screens. Some things going on here, though, in the Valley that I do want to talk about. I will be hitting up Stoneshiver, their show, and we'll talk about that here later on in the show going on. Longbox.FM is going to be a part of it. I'll be hosting it, and it's their new album. But we'll get to that. We also have a war of words. Racism involved between mayoral candidates back a couple months ago, Henry Perea and Steve Wayte, the owner of Roll One for Me. Some things were said on Facebook, and it's blown up. We'll talk about that, but my first story here tonight has to do with a wonderful douchebag, Kelly Duley. Now, if you guys are been listening or paying attention to the news in the last, 4 years ago, it happened at a Tower bar. It's been shut down since. One night, drunk dude, Kelly's hanging out at the bar, and Tower favorite, Sarah Rochelle Ashton, was also hanging out there. She went to go pay her bill. Guys starts reaching around, grabbing her, being douchebag dude that we all know and hate. She rejected his advances, eventually leading to slapping him in the face. Walks away in the patio. You think, done deal. Everybody walks away. We're all good.
Not the day.
Nope. Guy follows her out. Whatever happens, some interactions, a back and forth, possibly a beer bottle to the face from her to him. It all led to a finalized in him taking a cocktail glass and smashing her in the face, doing damage. 28 stitches, I believe, to her face, 9 to her chest. Now, she models She does, I'm not sure what kind of modeling, but her face is a moneymaker for her. She does stuff with that, and it doesn't matter what your profession is, getting a cocktail glass to the face is bad. Unless, I guess, me. Normally you don't see me. I do radio, right? Except for right now. Anyways, this all went down almost 4 years ago. Well, the trial happened in this last week and a half. As this trial came out, the professional douchebag, Kelly Duley, went out of his way to make himself look like a jackass in front of the entire court. Now, there was talk about whether or not she instigated things, which, justifies the idea that he can hit her in the face with a cocktail glass. They went on the approach that maybe she was also drunken mess, and both sides are equally guilty. Either way, we're looking at a case where Kelly Duley is now looking at his third felony. 3 strikes. That law that we passed a long time ago that has now since been ruined by Prop 47, Prop 57. And if this guy gets convicted, no guarantee he stays behind bars for the 38 to life that he's looking at. In the process of the court case, Pablo Lopez from the Fresno Bee was live tweeting, talking about how the day of sentencing, or the day of whether or not to find out if he's guilty or not, he showed up late, potentially inebriated, drunk in some way, which, when you're getting locked up and you're done, and maybe you get your last hurrah. Not looking good, though. Again, sitting in a jury of 9 women and 3 men, this guy makes the comments about how he wouldn't have even hit on her. She's not attractive, not his style. She's too fat for him. Shaming her every way possible, just constantly knocking and proving to the entire world what kind of asshat this guy is. So anyways, courtroom, it was announced once I guess after a little incident with the bailiffs getting involved with Kelly Duley, finally the judge comes in, hands out the verdict, guilty. Shocker. The guy's locked up. Now, you can go to his Facebook page, and if you happen to be friends with him, you can leave fun notifications or fun messages, as I've been doing. I've been having a little bit of fun doing the trolling thing. But this guy is looking to do 38 to life and learning how to bend over, take it, and be a butt buddy for his cellmates. Hope the best for you, Kelly. Also, if you really want your house painted, don't use Kelly Duley painting. Although maybe, because a civil case may be happening. As we know from looking at his Facebook profile, he won the dream home this last year. A dream home could go to Sarah in a civil trial, but it'd be recommended not because taxes and all that stuff that goes along with it, house payments. I know it's a free thing, but when you get it, it's California. I don't know the specific details, but I'm assuming she'll still get bent over due to the tax man. So just take the income and the money that's coming from apparently a profitable site or profitable business in his painting. Anyways, I digress. The guy's an idiot. Glad he's gone. Hope he stays in. Hope 4757 doesn't consider him a non-violent guy because, again, looking at the pictures, quite violent. All right, so before we hit up our main story tonight, make sure you can check me out on all Facebooks. Just look up Dowdy. On the interwebs, the Twitters and stuff, Longbox.FM, Dowdy, all the same. You can find me. Easy enough. So our main story tonight, we're talking about the war of words going on between Steve Wayte, the owner of Roll One For Me, and Henry Perea. And it involves everybody's favorite term to be thrown around in a politically correct universe, racism.
You're racist, you're racist, you're racist.
So look, this is how it started off. Apparently last night, Steve's doing his job over at Roll One For Me, a sushi place out in Northeast Fresno, and made a post. My servers are thinking about building a wall around the restaurant. Why don't many Hispanics tip? Really? Zero? Zilch? Nada? So before you go off on him, little backstory. We've had Steve here in the studio before on a show called The Kick. We've got to know him. He's got a sense of humor, very dry. He's not politically correct. He's not a Trump guy. He was definitely making a joke based off of Trump stuff, but I think we can all agree it was in poor taste. Here's the other thing. When you take to Facebook to make a post, even if it's supposed to be in jest, which he followed up on his timeline and said it was a joke or people can't take a joke, understanding that it's about 7% of your communication that's actually allowable when you do something in text. You lose the body mannerisms, you lose the tone, the way that you're meant to say it or you're hoping to say it. Whether it was something harmless or something this, like what he did last night, that is being seen very different. So you're losing a lot and you're putting yourself out there. And people are quick to jump on things on Facebook, as we've seen. Well, following this, enter Henry R. Perea, the man who lost to Lee Brand for the Fresno mayoral race this last November. He popped in with a post of his own. Owner of Roll One For Me in Northeast Fresno wants to build a wall around his restaurant because his Hispanic family did not tip. He digs his hole deeper by taking his 2 favorite Mexicans to dinner tonight. Let's build an economic wall around his establishment. How about he pay his workers a good wage? Please share this post. The back end of his comment had to do with a post from Steve Wayte, as he was doubling down Trump style on his original post by posting that he was going out to dinner with 2 of his favorite Mexicans. So before we go any deeper, let me say that this is a fun opportunity for me because I've had both men in the studio.
And we have a beautiful restaurant, and we have some really talented sushi chefs, and I'm really enjoying the 3 years of being a host for the citizens of Fresno and the Valley. It's been great. We have some great sushi.
I've been able to see Fresno from an entirely different perspective, and I think it's really served me well to be in the position I'm in now to be asking for people's support for mayor.
One of Henry Perea's most important qualities running for the mayor was leadership.
It's the leader. It's the leader of a city that sets a vision.
Looking at the post, this does not feel like a leadership type of thing. Now, I can understand taking umbrage with somebody saying something that was negatively attacking you, your race, people around you. He's taken it, though, and it feels in a way like a personal vendetta. And not only making a post, which is his right. He can absolutely go on Facebook, point it out, but to tell people, go share, you're basically raising pitchforks. Now, this is a tough spot because I don't in any way intend to try to defend Steve for what he did. As a business owner, he's going to be eating a lot of shit on this one. He's going to have to deal with the fallout from the public who are disliking him. And look, Henry's post has gotten close to 400 shares already today, just 24 hours later. Part of the problem with this is it creates mob rule. It gets everybody going up against them. You can see it when any business gets in the news where people start making false Yelp reviews and the keyboard warriors of the world going after somebody. Now, while I don't like what Henry did, you should be a little bit more stand-up. Maybe find a moderator middle ground, just to try to keep the peace, to better Fresno in general. Because if Steve is as much of a racist as everybody's claiming he's going to be, it'll be called out. He'll be out of business soon. But with it, we'll take the jobs of many people around him. Now, when it comes to job, I've got a sidebar. This whole thing has to do with tips, and everybody gets all angry about tipping, whether you're obligated to do it or not. And you're not. You absolutely do not need to tip, but then you get looked at as being a jerk or an A-hat because you did not put down the extra $2. Here's the thing. People working in the service industry rely on those tips. That's their bonus money because a lot of times they're making the minimum wage. And we've seen this battle. We've seen people talk about needing to raise the minimum wage. They want a living wage. The big fight when we finally passed it, $15 an hour for everybody. But we've seen what $15 an hour that causes the protest ends up being the result. No job at all for you.
And you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour even if you're not worth a shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the restaurant industry, and I'm telling you, I was already at the point where I'm not hiring under 23s at $15 an hour. You might have to be 30 to get a job at my place because I'm not paying somebody.
Yeah, you better know Latin
to see if you're even worth it.
Real Japanese.
So the balance is, everybody seems, or the thing on this is people seem to think that just because somebody owns a business, they should be raising their wages of everybody. A whole lineup on Henry Perea's Facebook post had a bunch of people saying you should pay your guys more. They're pinning Steve down for being a cheap ass who's just not paying out. This seems to come with the understanding that he's just rich and he's hoarding the money. Now, him being on the show, he was talking to me about how he takes care of his employees. They get paid well. They make a lot in tips. They're doing high-end sushi in a rich area of town, so tips are kind of a commonplace thing there. One Facebook poster suggested that maybe he raised the prices of his food, and therefore he can pay people more money. But everyone knows when you raise the price of food, people will go find it better or a cheaper price somewhere else. Therefore, losing business, Steve would have to cut people. I know this is a long soapboxy thing, but everybody's looking for their battle, for their $15 an hour living wage. They just want to get paid. They want that handout. It has to do with so many more factors than just something as simple as your minimum wage. We can go into inflation, the state of California, state taxes, misappropriation of funds, something we talked about earlier, 4757, things like that hurt all of us. And this simple thing, though, you tip people that need it. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. And maybe if you're the business owner, don't yell about it. Don't scream. Don't make yourself look bad. And definitely don't post something that would come off clearly racist. Now, in a situation like this, I would normally side with what everyone's doing. But because of the two stories I've already ran or talked about today, we're talking about a guy who made a joke online. It didn't come across well. He's going to suffer the consequences of that. Everybody's wanting to raise pitchforks. Henry Perea is just gathering the people up, sending them his way to get mad, to basically, let's just set the building on fire, right? Maybe we should string him up, something like that. Here's the thing. Steve is not this guy. He has not done this. Steve just made a stupid mistake, and he's going to suffer the consequences of it. And maybe we should stop being so paranoid or so sensitive over anything that can be considered politically incorrect, the racism term. We're quick to throw that out. I don't believe he is, but of course, what do I know? I'm a cis, white, male guy, and I have no credibility. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't be weighing in on this subject. We should just all follow Henry Perea. Pitchforks out. Let's go to work.
But then start talking about how we pull together and moving our city forward. I was always wanted to just make the world a little bit better than the way I woke up in the morning.
Obviously, I don't mean that, but I would like to see something better for Fresno, and I think both guys, bad form, bad display, and everybody just needs to get off. Facebook timeout. Timeout, Henry Perea, timeout, Steve Wayte. And Steve, maybe do a sale one night, something to make up for the public. I don't know, your business. We'll tell you how to run it. And finally, I want to talk about good friends of mine, Stoneshiver, the band that you guys have seen rocking it out here in the Valley. And actually, by the way, side note, one of those bands who really do it well. They know their business stylings, they know how to get out, get their name known, and they don't come off as douchebags. Awesome guys who are always out for the show, beginning to end, support their scene. Well, they're doing their EP release party, and it's going on April 28th this year, going down at Strummers. And they'll be performing their show with Call Me James, West Howard, and Werebear. All awesome bands that I'm excited to see. And if you followed me on New Rock 104, you know that last year my top 10 albums, Stoneshiver, who did an album release last year, and Werebear were in my top 10. The show's going down, and I will be a part of it. I'll get to be able to host with these guys. I'm looking forward. It'll be a lot of fun. Artourage is going to be involved. Live Music City. You can get your tickets through them. It's 21 and over. $10 in advance, 12 day of. Longbox will be there. We'll be recording the whole thing, too, as well, with our 360 camera. You'll be able to see the show later on, find yourself in the venue, see it at all angles, moving around. It's a pretty awesome little virtual reality show. Hopefully I get the camera and the pieces that I want in advance to make it even that much better. So guys, go out and support your local bands. Stoneshiver, give them some love, give them some likes. Go to their Facebook page. With that, wrapping this one up tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me, putting up through all the shenanigans. Look, guys, don't smash people in the face with cocktail glasses. Watch your words. Don't be stupid. I mean, a joke's a joke, but in the world of Facebook that we live in, the political correctness that we are forced to all be in, and remember, words on screen do not quite explain how you meant them. We just get to read a version of what you said, a transcription, and judge you. Probably bad if you are just a person in general. Even worse if you own a business. Be careful. And ex-politicians, try to be a little more political. Try. So that's it for me. Please go to my Facebook. You can now find me, hashtag DDP Live, the Old Dirty Dowdy Podcast Facebook page. Give me some love there. Find me on the YouTube page. More likes, more subscribes. I'll try to pump out these things more and more. I'm sure we'll have a new show coming up here soon with Stoneshiver. I'll get them in the studio. We'll get a legit, solid interview. I know people have been saying that they'd like to get a music show going, or a music podcast going that's more informative. I'm going to do my best for you guys. With that being said, Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. This is Dowdy, and I'm saying word. You've been watching hashtag DDP Live on Longbox.FM. The opinions expressed on hashtag DDP Live aren't necessarily those of staff, management, or sponsors of Longbox.FM. If you have been offended in any way during this presentation, you should have turned it off long ago. Hashtag DDP Live is a presentation of Longbox.FM.